Hi guys, my name is Hannah Davies and I went to University of Memphis and then I transferred to Ball State.
So Hannah, where were you based for your junior tennis career and what type of tournaments did you play? Was it nationally? Did you ever get to travel to some ITFs? What did that look like?
Yeah, so I trained at Bath Uni and I was in the academy there for 2 years and I travelled with them to do the ITFs and then all the nationals in the summers and stuff.
Okay.
I did British tours as well for my last year.
Okay, and what kind of age did you maybe start thinking about a college career?
Never in my head until I heard from the girls in the above, like Hannah Davies and Eden, about going over there and what the process was like. So probably 16, I would say, when I started thinking about that.
Yeah, and did you find it helpful having people like Eden and Megan who had already kind of been through the whole experience of like, you know, getting recruited, choosing a school? Did that help in terms of like narrowing down options at all?
Yeah, no, 100%. There was a lot of the girls in the above that was going through Stars and Stripe on a way to kind of get your foot in the door with how everything works up, because I had no idea. They were like, we'll walk with her. Pippa, reach out to her, or she'll reach out to you. She came scouting on a lot of the tournaments, which was really good, so I got to know her. And then she just spoke to me through the process on one of the tournaments.
Okay, cool. So she was around like most of the tournaments that you played as a junior. And then what decision, you know, once you'd signed with Stars and Stripes, how did that process look like in terms of getting a video out there? You know, did you film a video and then, you know, starting talks with Pippa about what you wanted out of college tennis and what schools you were looking at?
Yeah, so Pippa basically ran me through all the different things that she needed, and then she'd kind of filter out good and bad unis, and then she gave me a bunch and she said, can I send like kind of like a CV, if you will, to the unis in America that she thought that was the best fit from what I've said about different situations, such as I mean even like whereabouts you're based, all of that, standard obviously, and I didn't have to do a lot. She kind of just did it all for me, which was really good. She just said, just get ready to reply, people are going to be emailing you, kind of thing. 2 weeks.
And then once you'd kind of narrowed down some schools, is that when you started talking about official visits? Did you get to visit campuses in America, and who did you visit?
Yeah, so I got to visit, so I chose four different unis, and then I visited 3, I kind of rounded down 3.
Wow, I bet that was a hectic week.
Honestly, and then it was also all the travelling on which flight is where. It's so confusing. But so my mum went out with me when I was 16, kind of end of fall, and visited Coastal Carolina, University of Memphis, and then James Madison University.
Okay.
They're obviously really different, and then I had to go through the whole pros and cons list of that kind of thing. So
So once you visited, did you feel like you could talk to Pippa about the positives and negatives of, you know, each school that you found?
Yeah. She the good thing is she has a good relationship with a lot of American coaches out there. And she knows the process of, I sent so-and-so there, they're a good coach, or I sent so-and-so there, they're not very good, like, be aware of this. And she does say a lot. She knows a lot more information because she knows not a lot of them personally. Which is quite good. And then all the 3 unis I kind of said and narrowed it down to was the ones that she was saying that it was the best fit, and she'd like kind of help me with the decisions with that.
I feel like it's such a daunting task, especially when you don't know anything about, I definitely didn't, you know, like what conferences mean or how the system works in terms of lineups, and then the format being different with doubles and singles on game days, and then the spring and fall. Did you feel like you could ask enough questions, you know, with Pippa after those trips?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even before and after going there, she'd always check in, like, even when I signed, she'd always check on me.
Yeah.
She never just kind of left me once I signed, kind of thing. She'd always like, yeah, just let me know how everything's going. Any feedback would be great. And then we did call a couple of times during my first 3 years at Memphis, which was really cool. So it was really nice.
Yeah, so obviously you ended up choosing Memphis for your first 3 years. How was that in terms of, you said Pippa was checking up on you, you know, making sure you're all right. How was that experience at, you know, your first school?
I really liked it because I didn't feel like on my own out there.
Yeah.
Because obviously when you go there, you don't know a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's not a lot, like if you didn't like something, there's not a lot of people you can really actually say what you think, but I really trusted Pippa with everything I said to her.
Yeah.
And if I was struggling, if I really enjoyed something, like I said it to her just straight and she'd give me a straight back answer. She didn't kind of wallow it around.
Yeah.
She gave me like a direct opinion, which I really needed in some situations, so that was good.
Yeah. And did you feel supported, you know, as a student athlete in terms of having an advisor or like a trainer and stuff? I felt like in my like first couple years I was quite like amazed by the support in terms of, oh, okay, like if I'm struggling with grades or if I need a tutor for something, there is someone that you can like maybe go and talk to.
Yeah, definitely. I found that it was crazy how many people, like we had a chiropractor every week. Like you wouldn't get that, I don't think, at any English uni.
No, I mean even as a professional tennis player, it's a massive expense.
Support with everything I did.
Yeah.
And it was more, even like the athletic trainers, they would really talk to you like on a good level, like
mentally as well, not just physically. Yeah,
exactly. Sports psychologists, like I still talk to.
Yeah, that's so good.
But yeah, no, I felt like there's always a good support system out there. That I haven't got a lot of feedback from English unis that they do the same. Yeah,
I think there's a definite like just in the case of like money and resources. Yeah, I feel like there's so much more like provided that I've seen in terms of, you know, like just like clothes and, you know, travel, hotels. Yeah.
Like first couple of weeks you get a huge bag.
Yeah, it's like Christmas.
It's like, this is the best bit.
Yeah. Okay, so first 3 years at Memphis for you. Tennis wise, what was the reason in terms of your choice to transfer somewhere? Was it maybe that you felt like you could play more in the lineup?
Yeah, I would say that it was getting to the point that I was only good enough for the doubles lineup, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, the training was really good, everything was good, but I kind of just wanted to match play. Mm-hmm. Which was very difficult to get at the last, you know, my freshman year, sophomore year was good, and then, you know,
junior year,
everything kind of slowed down for me, and it was just getting rather frustrating. Like, you know, I did all the training and stuff.
Yeah.
And I loved, you know, but it wasn't.
It's not the same as competing, right? So once you'd made that decision in like by yourself, when you reached out to Pippa, how was that process of, you know, transferring? Because I know it can seem like a bit daunting from the people I've spoken to that have transferred. It's like, okay, where do I start? You know, how do I do this the right way without breaking NCAA rules? Because I know that's also really tight. How did Pippa help you throughout that whole process?
It was such a struggle because I couldn't physically, as soon as I went on the transfer portal, that's my like place gone, if that makes sense, for Memphis, if I wanted to come back or anything. I really left it very last minute. So I was very panicky in that whole kind of, it got to March.
Yeah.
I need to go. It was like, I have a month to go somewhere kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then Pippa was like, make sure like you can get back to Memphis. If, like, make sure, you know, she told me as soon as you got that transfer portal kind of thing, your place will be gone, basically. So
yeah.
she's like, you cover your back with how, you know, you can get back. So I spoke to the Memphis coaches and they agreed. I couldn't find anywhere. They'll like, I can come back, that's fine. So then I went on the transfer portal. And I would say it's really different this time. It was me kind of recruiting myself. Then, you know, Pippa did it the first time, it was so easy, and I had to do it kind of the second time.
Yeah.
And it was so much tougher.
Yeah.
You know, you just had to go ask, you know, you see unis that you've never heard of kind of
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And obviously I asked Pippa for, you know, what her process would be.
Yeah.
I did a lot of it on my own, but before I contacted a uni or before I, you know, got in touch, I'd be like, Pippa, what do you think of this?
Yeah.
That? And then she just gave me honest feedback. Like a couple of coaches that I was going to reach out to, she was like, no, like, crazy. Like,
yeah.
not again. Like,
yeah.
go somewhere where, you know, they're going to treat you nicer.
Yeah.
And you're going to play, kind of thing. So
yeah.
Anything I did, I definitely covered it with her.
Yeah.
I made any decisions because I did trust her with that whole process.
Yeah. And what would you say to someone who's maybe thinking of playing at a bigger school and maybe it doesn't work out in terms of, you know, competition? Would you say that, you know, to kind of like follow your gut and go somewhere where you know you're going to get matches rather than kind of sticking it out? Like, are you really happy with that move in terms of being able to play?
Yeah, I mean, there was a girl at Memphis that was in the same boat as me, but she was a freshman. She was a freshman, I was a junior, and I said to her, I said, look, if you're not playing your freshman year, we're not going to play.
Yeah.
And I told her that, and she was like, oh no, it's fine, I'll just stick it out. This year she signed to go in a senior year, and it's just a shame that, you know...
takes that long, you know, because then that's wasted years almost.
Years, you know, you go there to play matches and stuff, you just on a bench. So I would definitely advise, I mean, unless your coaches are giving you that hope, get to this standard or this level, play this tournament, you have a chance.
Yeah.
But if your coaches are like, generally, you're not going to be good enough, I would definitely recommend the transfer. But if your coaches really think you're a good player and they think you're valuable, I was not valuable at all.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that at all. I think sometimes coaches get so stuck in their ways in terms of lineups that it's hard when a team is doing. We had something similar with one of my teammates where it's very hard at the bottom of the lineup, because if you lose a match and then, you know, they put someone else in and then they, you know, do really well, or then the team does really well, coaches are so superstitious in general, I would say, that they tend to stick with that, like religiously almost. So I definitely wouldn't say that for yourself. I would say, like, just for girls or guys to be aware of, you know, it is tough it's competitive in lineups. But I think you did the right decision, and I'm leading into the next question very nicely, because congrats, you won your conference championship at Ball State, so you got a ring, you got the conference. What would you say was your best memory, tennis-wise first, at college over the 5 years? Is there a specific win at Memphis, or did the conference title, you know, mean a bit more because you transferred? What would you say your favourite tennis memory was?
It would have to be conference. I would say there's no other feeling that could explain that kind of thing. I mean, we live streamed like proper, like we had people like, I rewatched it, and you know, they had people like talking while she was playing. Yeah, like,
commentary.
Crazy, like.
Yeah.
It was such a cool experience, and just like obviously when winning, like that whole atmosphere after was like so good for like that week until like you know, you got the whole nationals like playing thing.
Yeah, like the selection show.
Yeah, that was good as well. So,
Okay, and then more kind of being on the student athlete side, how did you find balancing work, tennis, social life? What advice would you maybe give someone that's looking to go to American uni, kind of juggling all those things at once?
Yeah, I would definitely say prioritize the hard things first before you go have fun and stuff. Make sure your work's done, or you have a really good clear planner on what you're doing before you go out with your friends or dinner or anything, especially when you're traveling. Make sure everything's priorities, the hardest work I'd say is done before you travel, train. That's definitely one thing that helped me with having a clear plan of what I was doing. Yeah,
I mean, traveling constantly, especially in spring season, and then preparing for finals week during close to conference is a hectic time. But it did teach, I'm sure it taught you as well, how to get things done under pressure.
Yeah.
Because, we'd be doing, essays in the airport or something, on the bus.
I remember doing some crazy deadlines at 11:59.
Just rushing home and submitting. So now moving, you've graduated, congrats. And you studied, remind me again,
general studies.
And you're going into a possible management role. How do you think being a student athlete has kind of helped you prepare for the next kind of chapter, without trying to be too cringe or cliche? How do you think that's helped you for a different type of world even?
I would definitely say, as soon as you say that you've dedicated your life for 4 years in America, you can see that you already have a strong work ethic. Any job, people love that. And they do, find that it's a bigger interest, I would say, than a lot of people. That's a really cool thing to have. And then just, I would say it a lot of stuff makes it easier. In whatever job you're doing, you've done, really hard things and really time-consuming things.
Being able to communicate with loads of different people, I think I found was, there are going to be moments of conflict. There are going to be moments of, okay, I need to get my point across quickly. I think just having, over 4 or 5 years time, you're going to be teammates with, nearly maybe 20 people. I think just have or more. I think being able to kind of navigate relationships as well, and organize yourself, as you said, having to be a leader in some cases as well, helping lower classmen. I think it really prepares you for so many different things.
I would also say what you said with the team bonding, I would also say internationals, getting to know different cultures. Americans are crazy different, so obviously Europeans. And, I've met pretty much everyone from different cultures.
Pretty.
You have to, understand them and
try and see stuff from their point of view, learning about people's different backgrounds. My team was heavily Eastern European, so having to, I was the only Brit until one of my teammates, Louis, came along, which was nice because it was a bit of home. But you're right, making sure everyone's on the same page, because when it comes to tennis, you are a team. And it's cool, I think, having, as you said, being able to say I know someone from this place, I know someone from this place, it is very international. And would you say you had a culture shock going to the States, or did you find it, I think, like, not seamless, that's not the right word, but I definitely found it easier being in an athletic community, because you immediately kind of put into somewhere where you're going to meet a lot of new people quickly. Like, you know, living with other athletes and stuff, you meet other teams that way. How did you find that?
I mean if I wasn't on any sport, I definitely struggled. Having even though you don't know anyone there or anyone's culture or anything, like just having that similar interest of sport really helped a lot of us. Like, I mean, in freshman dorm, no tennis players, it was like golfers and stuff, soccer players and stuff.
I shadowed the lacrosse player.
And you just bond over how crazy it is. And you just like meet everyone's teams kind of thing. Which really helped, I'd say.
I think that's a huge plus of being an athlete, is you really do have like an already built-in system of meeting people, which I found helped me get really, like, I felt like it was home quicker than if I'd just been, you know, a regular student, as you say, where you'd actually have to like go to things and like meet people.
Every single person I met that was like a non-athletic person, like, how do you meet people here? This must be so hard. And also being British does help, because Americans really do like the accent. Honestly, the amount of comments from Americans have had, like, do I know the Queen?
That's a classic one. Okay, so last question. Is there anything else that you would say to someone that is thinking of going, you know, with Pippa, with Stars and Stripes, like down the college route? You know, whether it's professional tennis, whether they want to go into a working environment after college, would you say there's a lot on offer in terms of, you know, getting out, you know, the best you possibly can in college? Would you say going to American uni was, you know, the right choice for you? And, you know, were you happy with your experience with Stars and Stripes?
I definitely say American, even though I had a lot of ups and downs and stuff, I definitely say it's a really good experience. And just having that of my 4 years being out there and having a different experience that I don't think a lot of people would have. I wouldn't want to do, like, I wouldn't want to go to England. Kind of thing. That 4 years has grown me in a person, and, you know, I've definitely experienced a lot of different things.
Off court as much as on court.
No, exactly. And like any bad situation or horrific situation now, I feel like I can handle it. With having some crazy, you know,
experiences. That
type of stuff, but it teaches you and it grows you. What was the other?
No, I was just saying, in terms of, you know, for some people, they're trying to figure out if they maybe want to try pro tennis, but for some people, you know, they might find a different passion, like work-wise in college. Would you say that there's enough on offer to, you know, figure out what you want to do pro tennis-wise, or if you want to go into, you know, journalism or be an engineer? Do you feel like there's a lot? Because I felt like having those extra 2 years, you know, freshman and sophomore year, where you don't really have to decide your major, that helped me in being like, oh, I actually don't want to, you know, do anything in science. I really want to do, you know, media. So that was, for me, that was my, like, you know, experience.
I mean, I would definitely say that, like in England, everyone, I think, gets there. They have to choose.
They have to choose early, And
like, I didn't know, you know, I was majoring in criminal justice. And then sophomore year, I was like, actually, no, like, I can't do all the American. And I feel like a lot of people, I mean, I changed my major again into general studies. You know, my senior year, and I feel like a lot of people do a lot of different subjects, and then they figure it out, and then also tennis on that. Like, I know some people going into it wanted to go pro, and then coming out of it was like, it's way too much. And not wanting to go pro, and then they like excel.
Yes.
And they transfer to a better uni.
Yeah.
I know girls that did that.
Yeah.
And now they're like, I want to go pro now. Like,
yeah.
It's, you know, they've
grown on them. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the training, like some people can, like with that training, just go pro and like, you know, improve so much, which is cool to watch.
All right, Hannah, thank you so much for your time.